somebody lost a job, something happened to the car, a rent payment was missed. Just one of those incidents can take a family away from the stability that they had cobbled together and push them to a place where they are really not able to manage.
ACAM is a coalition of basic needs providers that were founded by faith congregations and deliver basic services in their communities. And these services prevent hunger and homelessness in neighborhoods throughout Houston.
The basic needs safety net in Houston is really critical. There are a lot of families that are working very hard, but one thing can turn everything in the world upside down. So that safety net that the assistance ministries provide is really important in making sure that families have some stability and can get over whatever obstacles they face.
Intermediary organizations are very important, but they're hard to fund, they're hard to explain, but they're critical in the nonprofit business. We think ACAM is the model of a good intermediary organization, and we're interested in making sure that it stays a first-class, cutting-edge model. The members have a phrase that they like, doing more mission, and that kind of became a catchphrase for us in the early days. We were helping these people do more mission.
Members are given the opportunity to have an assessment of how they're functioning, and then they set goals. They're given an opportunity to apply for funding that they can use to achieve those goals.
They can apply for funding to hire a volunteer coordinator or buy those cash registers for the thrift store. And these are funds that otherwise they wouldn't have access to, but we know that they have an impact of not only the efficiency of the operation, but it allows the ministries to serve even more people.
Between 2007 and 2008, our members as an aggregate increased their budgets by 17%. Some of that was for disaster relief. We know that our member ministries employ almost 13,000 volunteers to get their jobs done. There's also been an increase in the number of people served. The 12-member ministries served over 272,000 people last year.
We are now fully automated to be able to have records for every person. In addition, we have a whole host of services that we weren't able to provide until we became a member of ACAM.
MAM has most certainly grown over the last 4 years very, very dramatically. And I think that ACAM has helped to accelerate that growth. We want to increase assistance levels. We want to have more self-sufficiency programming, and are doing a whole lot more for the community at large.
When an organization like the Simmons Foundation decides to fund ACAM, I think what they're funding is the opportunity for networking, the opportunity for advocacy, the opportunity for learning best practices, all those things. When a foundation or an individual funds the specific ministry, they're looking at what's going on in that ministry, what programs they're doing. It's a different focus, and I think each is appropriate.
ACAM is an advocate, is able to speak out across the community to make certain that the entire community understands that we have this whole network of services that's being provided effectively, now more efficiently, and it's time that we spoke out on behalf of these organizations, and ACAM has done that.
The ministries are a really good place to invest. They're good stewards of funds, they have effective services, and the community assistance ministries do what they say that they're going to do.
Now is an opportunity for our ministries to be recognized, to have what they do measured, to have what we can do together evaluated, and have the outcomes proven, so that we can really show the community, yes, this is a really cost-effective way of dealing with some of our social problems.
What ACAM has been able to do is to look at that big picture and to say, here we have a group of organizations that are providing just incredibly important services for this community. How could we help them do more, do better, and yet not add an additional burden to their daily routines?
If ACAM hasn't done anything else, it's provided a wonderful opportunity for these executive directors to share and to communicate with one another. So for that reason alone, it's valuable.
We use each other as resources, we learn from each other, and it's great to have a collegial relationship that really is more than that. It's a friendship.
Both my assistant, myself, and board members have been invited to and attended some excellent presentations. It's been most helpful, and these are opportunities that I don't think any of us in ACAM would have had it not been for the group.
ACAM has helped me bring KCM to a totally different level than we ever would have been. I know there are funders I can call now and ask questions. I can call, any of the directors and talk to them if I have a problem with a staff person or a client or whatever, but it's much, much bigger than what I ever thought it would be. And I can't imagine what I would do without ACAM.
Sometimes it takes a neutral convener to pull people together for funding collaboratives, and ACAM can easily play that role because ACAM is not in the direct service business. ACAM is all about growing resources for our members.
ACAM formed a collaborative and submitted proposals to the state of Texas for some of the Recovery Act funds for homeless prevention, and we're just really happy to have been able to do that.
This was so much more than anything that we had ever done, plus we only had like a 3-week turnaround. Without them, we would have never tried to get this, and we're going to be able to help a lot of people through this money.
Because of ACAM, there was an infrastructure in place to bring everybody together, determine the strategy, go after the funding, and secure it to help more Houstonians.
Being a member of ACAM gives us hope that we are going to be able to be a strengthened organization, and it comforts us to know that we're not here alone.
I'd like to see ACAM continue to grow and to really foster the kind of strong nonprofit management that one needs to have to compete and to have some sustainability today.
ACAM is a great example that needs to be replicated in Houston. If more similar types of organizations found ways to both focus on collaborative efforts, building capacity, to position those collaborative efforts to respond to bigger opportunities, it would take things to a whole new level in Houston.